goes to the supporters of channel member DC Maximo. Well, I think we have to admit at this point that this first season has been not ideal on the pitch. I think I'm going to survive my job over the summer, especially when you look at this awesome new youth intake that we've had. One of the best youth intakes I've ever had. I mean, you do have to apply the context of obviously this being down in tier 9, but these are the boys. It's all these 15 and 16-year-olds who you can see on here. I mean, unfortunately, they have absolutely messed up the wage budget because they've all come in on, what is it, £5 a week contracts, which has put us way over our budget, which is not ideal because it gives me another thing that I'm failing at. But if we go back and look at these boys, obviously they're all 5-star potential because everyone's going to be in tier 9, but the ones we're really interested in are the ones who've already got some decent ability. So Remy Dallison is a centre-back. He's only 5'10", but then he is only 15. By the time this guy's 18 years old, I imagine he'll be over 6 foot tall, hopefully over 10 stone. But he's got some decent potential. Already played him a couple of times off the bench. We've also got a few name in the game channel members. Russ Eddy returns to the series. He's an attacking midfielder. We've also got Jacob Donovan, who's a right back. We've got, who else have we got who's got decent current ability and likely to be around the team straight away? Kean Scully is a defensive midfielder. He's 6'3" already, by the way. At 16 years old, 6'3". This guy's going to end up 6'8" and become my favourite player of all time. His only attribute worth having is his jumping reach. But at 16 years old, his jumping reach is already 15. Kean Scully is going to score some goals for us. We've then got Jordan Davis as a young Irish goalkeeper. We've got Sven van Rijn, whose name I'm probably mispronouncing, but he's another one who's already 6'3" at 16 years old as a centre-back. We're going to have a lot of fun with him as well. And then Rob Harley returning to the series, another name in the game guy. He is another right back. We've got some good youth there. It's exciting. What's less exciting is this with 2 games to go. Hello and welcome to part 7 of Wembley to Wembley. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have our final 2 games of the season. We're away against Hardley United and at home in a triple threat match against Wallingford and Crowmarsh. Since you were last with me, aside from the youth intake, everything else has been pretty miserable. Form has been rotten for the majority of the second half of this season. I think we perhaps need a tactical rethink over the summer. It's going to be difficult when all our best players are attacking midfielders, but we need to find a way to accommodate them whilst not being rubbish everywhere else, which is something of a challenge. So we're 10th place in the league, 52 points on the board, could potentially finish as high as 8th. Realistically, we're going to be somewhere between 9th and 11th. The board aren't very happy about it. I failed the objective to reach the playoffs. I'm struggling with the wage budget. At the moment, they're satisfied with my management of the team, but it is worth pointing out that my contract expires this summer and I've not had a good season. So I hope they're not going to fire me. If they fire me, that is going to be awkward. And we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But first up, let's play Hardley. Who or what is Hardley? Exactly. So it is another trip way outside of the M25. Hardley is up here somewhere. I've actually lost them. There they are. They're all the way up here. I mean, that's miles away. That's basic. That's further than Milton Keynes from London. That's bonkers. And if we have a look in here, it does appear that the location of the club is this person's house here. Although I guess this is the club car park. One of the nicer club car parks I've ever seen. And then we've got a pitch there. So I guess this is the club car park, or it might be the car park for the Hardley and Fewcott Hall, which I guess is a pub. It's more likely this is a pub car park, isn't it? And then you've got the stadium there. Stadium's always generous at this level. Let's go and have a proper little look down at street level. So this car park. Oh no, there's the Hardley United bus. We found their minibus. Oh, that's awesome. Is that where's this pub? So there's the pub car park. Is it a pub? Strictly no dogs allowed. So the Hardley, oh, so that's not a pub, it's the village hall. So this probably is where you park on match day. There's your information board. I love the fact that they've got the team bus parked across the road. That is beautiful. And then I don't think we can come into the car park, no, but if we come around here, we might be able to see it from the street. Although with these bushes, this might be ambitious. How have I gone back the other way? Up here, please. Believe it or not, I used to be quite good at GeoGuessr, but apparently, hold on, we're coming out and we're going back in again. There's definitely a street here that we should be able to look at the pitch from. So if we drop down here, no, it's all behind a bush. We're not going to be able to see the pitch. Is there any gaps in the bush anywhere? There isn't. At least we found the team bus, eh? And we did sign a couple of new players for the run-in as well, who you're going to see today. Rajan Gill is finally a replacement goalkeeper for us, who hasn't really done any better than the guy we had in there in the first place. Joe Haley is a centre-back / right-back who has been quite good. Ignore his rating. I quite like him. And then Hezron Fothergill is another attacking midfielder, because you can never have too many attacking midfielders, but he's actually come in and scored a couple of goals, so he's not been completely terrible. So this is the team we're sending to Hardley. We are basically just scratching around for ideas at some point. I know there probably is an argument to play a load of the young players that we've just introduced you to, which I might well do in the final game of the season, the home game. What I'd quite like to do first is secure a top half finish. I think if we're asked for the playoffs and finish top half, I can finesse my way out of that. If I'm asked for the playoffs and finish bottom half, that's problematic. So we're going to go with this team today, try and finish top half, and then if we do, we'll show you some of the youngsters in the second match. So it's Newboy, Gill in goal, a back four, Johnston, Nielsen, Haley and Gray. That sounds like a law firm. Martin and Brush in midfield, Fothergill and Pearce, then behind Warren and Garrick up front. You might notice as well, I now have a Wembley FC shirt behind me. This isn't the one that I'm going to be selling. This is the actual official one. I popped down to visit the club yesterday. I haven't edited the footage together for that yet. Hopefully we'll be able to drop some of that into the transfer video that will be coming out tomorrow, because let's face it, they ain't going to be many transfers at this level. But we've got some nice footage from the stadium showing you some of the work that's going to be done over this summer. But they were lovely and friendly. Took me into the chairman's office, took me into the boardroom, gave me a nice little tour, gave me a shirt, a pen and a badge. So I've got all the gear. I'm very, very happy. But it is a nice shirt, isn't it? It's very snazzy. What you might also notice as well is we now have the LOLLUJO edition shirts in-game, both in terms of in the 3D match engine. We're wearing them now. This is our first time wearing them in a match. And we've also got them as the 2D graphics on the info page of the club as well. The link to get those will be in the description to today's video. So if you want to get the shirts to play in your save, you now have access to them. Thank you very much to Request a Kit for getting those made up for me. And we should, at some point in the coming weeks, be able to put both the home and away shirt on sale. I'm talking to Hope and Glory about getting them up as soon as possible. They've been making our shirts for years, and they're great. And I listened after the feedback from yesterday's video. I heard that loads of you wanted that away shirt, and we are going to do the home shirt and the away shirt. We're just getting them set up, ready for the pre-order page with Hope and Glory. So watch this space. It's not a quick process, unfortunately, because obviously it's real life business, industry, manufacturing stuff, a little bit outside of my normal comfort zone where everything happens magically and instantly on the internet. But they will be coming soon. And let's face it, we've not been promoted this year. We're probably not going to get promoted next year. I think there's still a very good chance you'll have shirts in your possession before we hit the Football League, because this looks like it's going to be a tricky save. Right, Fothergill plays it out to whoever it was who took the throw. Who was it who took the throw? Johnston, maybe? And unfortunately goes high and wide. We are 1-0 up. Those of you listening to this on your car radio might not have, because I was doing all my sales pitch, you might not have heard that we went 1-0 up, but we are ahead in the game and looking very smart in our new kits. They are very nice kits. They obviously look better than all the other kits you're going to see at this level, because at this level, everyone FM's just wearing the generic Football Manager kits. You're not getting people in their real kits at this level. So for us to be in a properly little designed kit does look very, very snazzy. Such smart boys. It'll look nice in the trophy lifts when we get to see the kits all nicely zoomed in. I like them very much. But what I would like even more is to go 2-0 up before half-time, because then we can probably have a look at the kids in the second match. Fothergill from range, does grab the second of the game, his third since arriving on loan. His time here at Wembley has been short and sweet, but he's definitely come in and been a little bit of a difference maker, at least in terms of scoring goals from that attacking midfield position. Maybe showing up that our depth of talent there isn't quite as good as I thought it was, because we've had a guy come in and been better than everyone else we've got playing there. So maybe the lesson to take from that for next season is don't get married too much to certain tactics because some players appear loads better than others, because at this level none of them are very good. So you can probably just play a system that you think is going to work and shoehorn the players in where they need shoehorning in. So we're probably going to be doing something different tactically next season. I think it's fair to say this hasn't really worked out. And we'll do our summer recruitment accordingly. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of players out of contract in the summer. I tell you what, it's working today, though, isn't it? 3-0 up now. Where are Hardley in the league? We know they're basically in Milton Keynes in reality, but where are they in the league? Because we're smashing them here. This is the best performance we've put in for ages. They're down in 14th. I mean, I am recording this morning as you're watching this, as the game comes out, having not opened the save up since Wednesday or Thursday of last week. So normally when you have a few days off of playing Football Manager, it punishes you when you come back. Maybe because our form was so rotten to begin with, it thought I stopped playing for a few days because I was sad because we were losing, and it's now welcoming me back with some wins. I realise most of that isn't real, but we're Football Manager players. We have superstitions. We have these ridiculous ideas of how it works. And I know a lot of you are probably agreeing with what I'm saying at the moment about the game easing me back in. But 3-0 up, this is ideal for allowing me the opportunity to show off some of the youngsters in the next match, because this should confirm our spot in the top half of the table, which is the best outcome we could possibly have got from where we were at the start of the episode. We'll have a look at the league table in a second, obviously, but if we are confirmed for top half of the table, we will show as many of these youngsters as I can cram into the team in the final home game of the season. That's as long as we don't absolutely capitulate now going into the final 20 minutes of the game. So we've conceded a goal yet there. Yes, we'll continue with our tactical changes. Hardly, looking at the match stats, probably are feeling a little hard done by today, and maybe they're going to turn it around and ruin my plan for the episode. This guy just seems to be getting involved in everything. Has he been on the entire match? Why has he only just woken up and started causing a problem? We didn't even make any changes to our defence. Something's happened though. Were they playing a 4-2-4 all along? I feel like that's something one of you lot might have noticed. Obviously I didn't notice. Bring Turner on to play left back for the final few minutes. And yeah, if it ends like this, I think that is us confirmed top half. So we can just kind of do whatever we feel like in the final match of the season. Josh Hamilton proving how important being tall is one more time for the season. Playing a little bit deeper today than he's played for a lot of the season, but that's his 11th goal of the season. And a lot of them, believe it or not, he scores 2 goals. He has the headers and he has the absolute screamers that we've seen him do on occasions as well. He never just scores a normal tap-in goal. It's always a header or a screamer with him. But we're just going to comfortably see this game out, I think. Gray, looking for options ahead of him, doesn't really need to find anybody. He can just keep running. In fact, he's accidentally played a brilliant through ball to Pearce. Pearce squares it to Garrick, and there's number 5, a 15th goal of the season for Lincoln Garrick. And after that little bit of a wobble around 70 minutes, we've just pulled away and demonstrated that we're a much better team than this lot. I mean, it's times like this when we play this well, it does make you question how we've not at least challenged a little bit for those playoffs, because right now we look really good. But we are miles off the pace in terms of getting into the playoffs off the back of that horrible run of form that we had. But it's all something to build on for next year. If it was too easy straight away, we'd have a repeat of what happened with Home last year, where you all stop watching after 10 episodes because it's clear we're just going to win every match. I don't think there's much threat of that happening in this save. So I guess that's a positive. So Pearce plays it across goal again. It falls to Fothergill, and that's number 6. And this is flattering us a little bit at this point. We've just absolutely rattled goals past them in these final 10 minutes or so. And yeah, we've ruined their afternoon. I mean, they had literally nothing to play for. There was no fear of them being relegated. There was no fear of them even moving up a spot in the league. So it was a complete dead rubber for them. But it was a nice little workout for us. And now I can show you some youngsters. So here is our team for the last day of the season. Just to remind you who's who. Jordan Davis is 16. He's in goal. We've got Colin McCourt, who is another one of our new 16-year-olds. He's got 1 star of current ability. He's going to be in at left back. Sven van Rijn, we already met pre-episode. So he is going to be starting at centre back alongside Remy Dallison, who's already made a couple of substitute appearances this season. And Rob Harley starts at right back. We've then got Patrick McVeigh, another 16-year-old with 1 star, alongside Cian Scully, who's a 16-year-old with 1.5 stars in central midfield. He's the big boy who we're going to keep an eye on from set pieces. Then Russ Eddy is going to be our playmaker for the day, a 15-year-old, alongside Nicholas Stark, who's a 15-year-old Swedish player. I don't know how we've ended up with a Swedish player in our team. A legitimate born in Sweden Swedish player. And then up front, of course, we all know Anton Canerva, who's the senior player on the pitch today, looking to get into double figures for league goals for the season, and he'll partner Declan Brown, who's not very good at all, bless his cotton socks. He's, again, a legitimate New Zealander, although I'm actually looking at him thinking, maybe we play Michael Clark instead? No, we'll leave him on. We'll see what happens. So Canerva, captaining the team for the first time at 17 years old, is the oldest player in our team. It's definitely a bunch of youngsters. There's a very good chance we get absolutely battered today. But even if we do, fingers crossed, we still manage to finish in that top half of the table. Russ Eddy, chance to make himself an immediate hero. If he can pop this just there, that'd be lovely. Right where the arrow is, please, Russ. Come on, he's lining it up. He's taking his time. He's feeling the pressure. There's nearly 30 people in the ground. He's never met so many. He doesn't go high, but he scores it anyway. And Russ Eddy is the first one of the new generation to make an impact on the team. What a youth intake. I mean, that's such poor goalkeeping and poor defending. It's gone through the wall. And Russ Eddy, it doesn't even go into the corner. It's low and kind of in the middle of the goal. The wall were terrible. The goalkeeper was terrible. But Russ Eddy, at 15, 16 years old, has his first goal for Wembley. First of many, hopefully, as we see some of these youngsters start to push into things. Because let's face it, the ruin that they've done to the wage structure, we're not going to be able to bring in a lot of older players to go with them. We are going to have to focus on these youngsters. It was I don't think I've ever had 5 elite talents come through a youth intake before, so it is exciting times with the youngsters that we've got coming through here. And this is just with Wembley's original youth setup. It's more an illustration at this level of the fact that we're at tier 9. Everyone's going to have 5-star potential, and everyone's going to probably be already nearly good enough to play in the team. And then the ones that you play the most are the ones that are going to improve the most. And it is quite fun at this level getting the youngsters in, because you're going to use so many of them. There's never been a better time for you to become a Name in the Game channel member, boys and girls, because there's a very good chance you're going to appear in episodes. Russ Eddy with another free kick, this time not such a good one. And it's ending up cleared, but Rob Harley gets in there, makes the tackle, plays it over the top, looking for Canerva. As a red-green colourblind man, I am struggling a little bit to tell the difference between the two teams today, but I think that was definitely Canerva who was chasing that. And then the big ball forward, dealt with by Van Rijn, and he plays it forward to Scully. Ball over the top for Stark, Stark's the Swedish midfielder, isn't he? He's not the guy we were doubting pre-match. And Nicholas Stark has his first goal for the club as well. We don't need adults. We've got, the best thing about this as well is we have a full team of players who can't even drink. So the post-match party at the end of the season is going to be so cheap, because I just have to get some Dr. Pepper and Lilt in. There's no reason. All the Budweiser adverts we've got all around Vale Farm in real life, they can't drink it. They're all kids. And obviously kids would never drink Budweiser. Right. It's 2-0 now. And who are we playing? Walling something? I should probably know the name of the team that we're playing. It's the triple threat. Wallingford and Cromarsh were on the attack there. We're not afraid of them. This is a great performance from our youngsters today. I mean, if we'd have played all season the way we've played in these final couple of matches, we'd have had no problem at all getting into those playoffs. As it is, we're finishing 8 points outside of them. Our old pals Chalfo are going up automatically. And we've got to pick ourselves up and dust ourselves off and try and do it all again next year, which is no mean feat. Right, Russ Eddy with another free kick. He fancies himself as a set-piece specialist, it seems, and it ends up falling to Canerva, who you would have expected Canerva to be the standout superstar in this 11. He's been very quiet again today, but he's done well there. Slides it across to Declan Brown, and Brown is the one who we had doubts about pre-match, and he's got a goal on his debut as well. It's 3-0 now. The kids are running riot. It's beautiful. This is good work from Canerva, actually. We've accused him before of just being a finishing merchant, but that's actually pretty good. He's done really well there, taken on his senior role, his leadership position today with his captain's armband and getting himself an assist as well. That has been a very good 70 minutes. We have got one more of the youngsters to bring on. Jacob Donovan is going to come on and play left back. And then we're also going to bring on Michael Clark, who we very nearly played pre-match. He's going to come on for, you know what, we may as well bring him. No, we'll bring him on for Brown. Brown's got his goal. Clark can come on and try and get one of his own as well. And we've lost the goalkeeper. And we don't have one on the bench. Not an ideal debut for Jordan Davis. Lanre Balogun at 6'2" is probably the guy who's going to go in goal here. Didn't you used to have a goal? Oh, there's goalkeeper rating. So he's a 2. Balogun is a 2. Is there anyone better than a 2? Is there an easy way to find? We're just going to put Balogun in goal. He's 6'2". Lanre Balogun never really worked out for him. We brought him in, expected him to score a load of goals. Never really worked out. He's probably going to be on his way this summer, having played 20 minutes for us in goal. He'll have a story to tell for the rest of his career about his about the time Lanre Balogun went to Wembley and got disrespected to such an extent that his final appearance, he was the goalkeeper for. And I tell you what, he might be keeping a clean sheet here. Donovan to Eddie. It's lovely seeing the name in the game players connecting to Van Rijn. That's 3 of them in a row there for the name in the game, boys. Stark now looking to create something on the right hand side. Plays it back to Rob Hardley. Hardley cuts it back to Stark. We're playing some lovely football. Scully from range, but he can't keep it down. If we could have added a 4th there, that would have been lovely. And I love the idea of Balogun getting a clean sheet. I mean, we have got 2 Baloguns. We've got a legitimate Balogun who's a goalkeeper. He's the greyed out goalkeeper that we signed earlier in the season. We could have done a little bit of a switcheroo there, and the referee, he's not going to notice at this level. We could just say, what's your name? Balogun. Yeah, that seems right. Get him on. We're not thinking here. Right, Donovan with the cross to Canerva, and that should have been number 4. It was a lovely cross from Donovan, but unfortunately Canerva can't keep his header down, and we end the season with a comfortable win, a lap of honour for the kids, and top half in the table, which hopefully will not result in the board sacking me, because like I mentioned before, if I get fired now, that would be awkward. So there's your confirmation we've secured the playoffs. Balogun making all the headlines. Poor old Jordan Davies at 16 years old. He's got to do his GCSEs with a broken collarbone now, bless him. But he's not had the best of times there. But that is confirmation of our final finishing place for the season. We're on a C. The board aren't going to fire me. It should be fine. Might not get a new contract immediately, but that feels like something for future Kev to worry about. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.